Welcome my dear students. In this video lecture I am going to talk about the appreciation of the poem Cherry Tree. Let me tell you first what is exactly an appreciation. Appreciation means, my dear students, to recognize the good qualities of the poem. So how the question will be asked to you about an appreciation of the poem? As you can see on the screen, write an appreciation of the poem using the following points. Means already points will be given to you. You have to write an appreciation of the poem. So what are the points? Look at the points one by one. First, about the title, poet and poem, you have to write. Second, theme or gist of the poem. Gist of the poem means here the essence of the poem. Third one, poetic style. Language means what type of language the poet has used, you have to mention there. Poetic devices, what are the poetic devices? Means figures of speech are used by the poet, you have to write there. Fourth number, special features. In this point we have to write the special features of the poem. The fifth one is message, morals or values. Means if there is a message, you can write what is the message that poet wants to convey through the poem. If it has a moral, then you have to write about moral or values. And the last but not least, that is your opinion about the poem. It depends upon you. Means whether you like or not. Okay, if you like, then why did you like it? If not, then why not? You have to write your own opinion about the poem. So let's try to understand each point one by one, how you can write an appreciation of the poem. See the first point about the title, poet and poem. So what is the title of the poem? You can write as an answer, The Cherry Tree. Okay, this is the title which indicates to the reader that the poem is related to nature. Tree means it is naturally related to nature. And poet, who is the poet of the poem? You can write here, the poet Ruskin Bond is a nature lover. Okay, and why is a nature lover? Because his life in the beautiful hills of Missouri has provided the setting for many books of stories and poem. Books of the stories or poems, you will have the setting of nature by this poet. It means he loves the nature. And what is about the poem? The poem deals with the relationship of the narrator and the tree over several years. In this way, my dear students, you can write in the first point. Second point is about theme. So what is the theme of the poem or gist of the poem? Means essence of the poem. How to grow against adverse condition. What is the main theme of the poem? We learn from that cherry tree that though there was adverse condition, but against it cherry tree struggle and grown. As if poet described that how child was growing up over the years, he observed the tree growth and feels satisfied to praise it in his garden at the end of the poem. Means in the same way as child grows, in the same way there was a growth of cherry tree, and that's why the poet was very satisfied at the end of the poem. Now let's talk about the third point, that is a poetic style, language or poetic devices. In this point you may write like this, it has a story flow. Means this poem, it seems just like a story. And rhyme scheme A B B C C. What is the rhyme scheme of the poem? I will make the separate video for it, then you will come to know what is the rhyme scheme. It is A B B C C, and there are many run on lines. As if you observe it properly, you will come to know there are run on lines in this poem where the end of the line doesn't end the sentence, but the sentence continues on to the next line. So this is how you have to understand Simple words make the language easy to comprehend and enjoy. So how the language is used by the poet? It is very simple. Words are very simple, by which we can understand and enjoy the poem. Now, what are the poetic devices are used in this poem? Alliteration, personification and antithesis. Figures of speech are used in this poem. And on figure of speech, I have made a separate video which you can watch and learn the figures of speech. Now let's talk about the fourth point, that is special features. What are the special features of the poem? That there is a sensory imagery of sight and sound, means there are such a imageries used by the poet by which we can visualize some sights or sounds. The poem seems to make the reader aware that a small effort, it nurture carefully without giving up, can bring rich rewards. What is the speciality given in this poem? That the cherry tree was nurtured carefully without giving up. Okay, it means one can bring rich rewards by this act or deed. Now fifth point, what is the message of the poem, or what is the moral of the poem? So my dear students, in this poem there is a message, but it has more than one message. So what are the messages? To persist in the struggle to achieve a goal. Okay, means if you want to achieve your goal, you have to struggle for it, and persistency is very important. It required hope, to love the trees, as the poet has planted the sapling or seed of the cherry tree. It means we should love the trees and plant, grow greenery wherever we can. This is the message which the poet wants to convey us, that we should also plant trees and grow the greenery. It will inspire children to sow seeds and look after the plants, later they can enjoy the fruits. Means this poem can inspire us, can motivate us or children to sow seeds. After that it will become a big tree. Now point number 6, that is the last but not least. And what is that? Your opinion. Means what is your opinion about the poem, if you like it or not. As I have written, you can also write like this: I enjoyed the poem. Really, I enjoyed the poem. It was interesting to read the sapling growing into a tree as the boy grew into a responsible young man. My dear students, as there is a birth, there are some stages in the life of man. In the same way, after planting the seeds, tree also grows. And why it is interesting? Because as the boy grows up, in the same way that tree was growing up. So I like this poem very much. In this way, my dear students, with the help of these points, you can also write an appreciation of the poem. I hope you have understood all the points. If you have any doubt, you may ask to me by calling. With this note, I end my video lecture. Take care of yourself, be healthy and be happy.